Ho, ho, ho! That's right, I've got 3 hoes for you, but I ain't no Santa. The big guy is off at the moment getting ready for his annual jaunt across the skies. So, while we wait for an overweight stranger to deliver the goods, as they say, let's take a look at the first of our 3 Christmas game reviews. What have we got for this year, Mr. Monster?
We've got Jackrabbit Holiday Hare 1995. It's an old PC game from the mid-90s, so it's nice and retro for you.
Oh, I love a bit of retro goodness. Let's get to it. In 1994, Epic Mega Games decided that anything a console could do, the PC could do better, and they set out to prove it in style. Consoles had been dominating the side-scrolling platformer market for years at this point, with the likes of Sonic the Hedgehog and, of course, the Super Mario Bros. Showing the computer gamers how platforming should really look and feel. In comparison, the titles available on the PC tended to be slower, less responsive, very much less colourful, and scroll in a far less smooth manner. The PC just couldn't compare. Or could it? It turned out that yes, it absolutely could. When the code was in the right hands, the PC could outshine any other platform, including the Amiga, which up to that point had been the dominant computer platform for computer games. The early 90s were a time of great change in the computer world. Wolfenstein 3D had shown the PC was capable of advanced games, and now in 1994, Jackrabbit had taken the formula of the Amiga's Zool and turned it into a powerhouse of PC gaming excellence. But that wasn't enough. Epic Mega Games wanted PC players to really latch on to Jackrabbit as an icon of PC gaming, and to do that, they came up with a brilliant marketing strategy. Create a small game and release it for free. Welcome to Holiday Hare 1995. Built using the game engine for Jackrabbit CD, the expanded CD-ROM version of the original game, Holiday Hare 1995 is an expansion on the Holiday Hare demo game from 1994, which was simply called Holiday Hare. The original Holiday Hare game featured 3 levels of Christmas mayhem, while this 1995 version expands on that with 2 extra levels, bringing the total to 5. As far as free games go in the 90s, that is pretty damn cool. The levels are themed around winter, snow and toys, and each level is big. You really can easily lose an hour or 2 playing this entire game, and once you're done with it, it will have been fun enough that you won't mind coming back to play the whole thing over and over again every now and again. The game is pretty tough in places, so you're going to have to manage your weapons wisely. While you have a blaster, and that will never run out of ammo, the other ones you have to pick up ammo dumps in order to use, and they are the more powerful ones that you can actually get through enemies with. The other thing is, enemies don't respawn if you leave an area then come back, but they do respawn if you lose a life and have to start again, so all of the tricky areas could become a meat grinder in hardly any time at all. Dying in the same area over and over again will deplete your lives and your patience in short order if you're not careful, so you'll need to keep your wits about you and your attention laser focused just to get by. You'll also want to look out for all of the secret areas hidden in each level, because they often contain extra lives, and if you're anything like me, you're going to need all the extra lives that you can get. I don't mind admitting that I lost a lot of lives and had to do a lot of replaying of levels in order to get through all of this for this review. Even though it is just 5 levels long, they're tough. And they're a challenge even for those of us who've been playing platformer games since childhood. The graphics are vivid, the gameplay is action-packed, the soundtrack is wonderful, and the controls are silky smooth. When Epic set out to show that the PC could compete against the consoles at their own game, they really didn't skimp on their efforts. If you had told me when I was younger that this was a console game, I would have believed you. It feels like this would be right at home on something like the Super Nintendo or the Mega Drive. It's the perfect PC platform game, and I don't say that lightly. The only downside to the game is its frenetic pace. For most of the time, the game runs at a lovely speed even on this DOSBox version that I downloaded from Good Old Games, but if you're not careful, Jazz will rush off at a speed that would make Sonic the Hedgehog tell him to slow down. When the game starts moving faster than a smackhead's gyro in this manner, death is never far behind. You will hit something and you will die. I get what they were going for with this. It really is great to see the PC running at such a red-hot pace, but when you're playing, that speed just isn't worth risking. I recommend you go at a slower pace and keep the game enjoyable. Jazz Jackrabbit and its Holiday Hare special game that we're looking at here is one of those games that comes along only once every now and again and completely changes how you look at things. Back when this was released, I'd been playing games that didn't look or play an awful lot different to the games that I've been playing on my Amstrad CPC, and I've been gaming on the PC via my Mega PC for 2 years by the time I saw this. It's just one of those things. This came along and blew everything else away. Nothing compared. The PC was an excellent platform, but it took a lot of time before the graphics and sound chips were available that allowed people to actually code for it in a way that unleashed its full potential. And when they did, the games were super expensive compared to what I've been paying for CPC games, so I didn't get much of a chance to see them. Now I realise that not everyone enjoys playing this type of game on a keyboard. They much prefer to game with a controller in their hands, and to be fair, that is understandable in many respects. Thankfully you can configure DOSBox to let you use a controller just fine these days, so you won't feel like you have to miss out. But for those of us who grew up with a keyboard in our hands, you'll be right at home with this game. But whichever side of gaming you come from, I cannot recommend Jazz Jackrabbit Holiday Hare 1995 enough. It really is a fantastic game. It's really enjoyable, it's not too long, so even if you're not brilliant at this kind of game, you'll get through it at a reasonable pace and you won't have to spend more than a couple of hours on it. And it's fast, it's brilliant to look at, it sounds great, and it's just good fun. Get it, play it, enjoy it. But that's really all I've got for you today, so thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow for another game. See you then.